In progress.
Wow, I think it's important to keep hammering this home. When the guys found this, it's another trans man finding out just how terrible it is to be a man. Now, I've maxed out as high as I can. Hopefully, you guys can see what I'm reading. I'll read it out for you. And this is eye opening. This guy named Skuldish, trans man, he says, still bothered by US cultural idea that men can only be non-romantically intimate with one another in a warlike or competitive circumstances. Okay. Now, he says, I'm pretty quiet about the fact that I'm a trans man usually, but holy shit, I need to tell you about the culture shock I'm going through because it's blindsided me. As I pointed out before, you know how people will say to guys, have you ever talked to a woman before? Well, women have talked to men all through their lives and they don't understand our experiences whatsoever. So there's a huge sense of social isolation that comes with being perceived as male. Well, you are male, right? You're a trans man, and trans men are men, right? So you're male, right? Because now people are subconsciously treating me as a potential predator. All strangers, no matter their gender, keep their guard up around me. Yeah, Skuldish, people don't like men. Men don't like men, and women don't like men. That's all predator means, is mean they don't like you. It made me realize that there's no inherent camaraderie in male socialization as there is in female socialization, unless of course it's very specific environments. And the fact that I don't ambiently experience this mutual kinship and basic exchanges anymore is insanely lonely feeling. You know how badly this would have been fucked up my mind if I'd grown up with this? Well, Skuldish, to be truthful, guys don't really grow up with it so much. It only happens to us at puberty, especially when testosterone starts us chasing the opposite sex. Boys have lots of camaraderie with one another. So, but it goes to show you, wow, he doesn't realize the social isolation. Of course, just because women live in the same world as us doesn't mean they pay attention to us or even give a shit what's going on in our minds. Women observe the human or the male experience all the time and it never sinks in. It's 4 a.m. I am mourning loss of the privilege I didn't know I had. Exactly. All these guys are finding out there is no male privilege. There's none. Women are the ones with the privilege. His privilege is that he was accepted by society as a woman, and now that he's a man, he's not accepted. Anyway, I'm going to figure out how to navigate this. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to. Sounds very positive, but he's not. Because when you start reading down here, you're going to realize this guy isn't equipped to navigate this. Absolutely, because it's an extremely sticky issue. Frankly, this is something I would have never understood without living experience. Exactly. Because again, women observing men's lives doesn't mean anything. They like their victimhood status. They don't care about men. They're apathetic at best about men's experiences, and they don't pay attention anyway. They don't care about us. No kidding, Skuldish. It's now blatantly clear to me that most cis men probably experience chronic emotional malnutrition. Okay, this person is one of those LGBT types because he's using that word cis. Are you a cis? Yet here you are suffering chronic malnutrition. They've deprived of social connection just enough for it to seriously fuck with their psyches, but not enough for them to realize that it's happening and what's causing it. Well, that just means men just, if they spent a month in a teenage girl's shoes, they would realize just how much. trans women who pass find out how great it is to be female. It's like they're starving, but don't know this because they've always had been served 3 meals, except those meals have never been big enough. This deprivation comes from all sides of the aisle, by the way. Yeah, that's right. Nobody likes men. In the case of women, when I'm out in public and interact with women, all of them, well, he's generalizing all women. Oh no. And this is a former woman. All of them come off as incredibly aloof, cold, and mirthless. That's because they are incredibly aloof and cold and mirthless to you, Skaldish. They are cold to you. They don't like you. I have never experienced this before, even though I know exactly what the composure is, the armor that keeps away creepy ass men. Okay, there you go. So this person is not equipped to deal with what he's up against because he is considered a creepy ass man now. And so like all these types, they always say, well, there's creepy ass men out there, but I'm not one of them. Dude, if you're not a creepy ass man, then these women should be able to see it, right? Right. Creepy ass man just means you're a man now. As someone who used to wear it myself, I know this armor is 100% impersonal. If it's personal, you just showed just how much women don't give a shit about men. But I disagree with you. It is personal. You're taking it personally, Skaldish. Nobody likes wearing it. And it can say with absolute certainty that women would dump the armor in favor of unconditional companionship with men if doing this didn't run the risk of actual assault. Okay, so this person, this lying scumbag, is saying that men assault women. I've never seen it. I've never seen men just randomly assault women anywhere. So he's spreading a lie about men. And then coming in here in this damn, that is interesting, to rant and complain about his situation when he is a part of the problem. Trust me when I say women aren't just being needlessly guarded. You're lying, dude. Because unlike you girls who refuse to even look at how men look, we men have eyes in our heads. And we see you don't like us. But I only have a complete understanding of the context because I've experienced female socialization. If I hadn't, I would have thought this coldness was a conspiracy against me, devised by roughly half the human population. It is. These women don't like men. They don't like you now. If it had nothing to do with being a man, then you would have a different experience from the creepy ass man, wouldn't you? Even now, with all that I know about navigating the world as a woman, which is easy mode, there's nothing tough about navigating the world as a woman. I'm failing to convince my monkey brain that this armor isn't social rejection. Know why you're having a hard time? Because it is social rejection. You're socializing with these women and they don't like your face because you're not one of them. You're one of us, subhumans. And so you're being rejected. And that's why and also your monkey brain, it must be because you were once a woman, I guess. Because this guy has an evolved brain and I can see that is social rejection. And it is a conspiracy by half the population, half the human population to reject us because it makes perfect sense once you realize women don't like men. And they're hostile to us. And as for male socialization, again, it seems taboo for men to be platonically intimate with men for reasons I have yet to fully understand. But I think it boils down to, okay, so he doesn't understand. That's right, you don't. And he's going to try and give his opinion. Men just don't like other men either. There's an in-group, out-group bias. Women prefer the company of women and men prefer the company of women. Men are male hostile. So that's all it is. The fact society teaches boys that it's not okay to be soft with each other. Why are you using boys for? Boys are fully human. Boys have real solidarity with one another. This is what happens when boys turn into men, and men start competing for one each other for women because men don't like each other. There's an outgroup bias towards the girls. Okay, garden variety homophobia. Okay, so it's all homophobia, right? Well, that's true, but homophobia is geared up on people being male hostile from both genders. Our media only shows men being intimate with one another when they've teamed up against in a dire situation. And I bet real money, it's a huge reason why men gravitate towards activities that simulate being teamed up against an opposing force. Well, yeah. Men have to have that other group of men to fight. So to prove that they're the real good guy. And you're proving this because up here, you scoldish, you just got through shitting all over men. So you're no different than the rest of us, are you? But men are not machines of war. Yes, testosterone absolutely gives you dumb bastard brain. Oh, you're a dumb bastard now, are you? But that just makes you want to skateboard a wagon down a hill or duct tape your friend to the wall, not kill someone. Okay, it makes you risk averse. And you're thinking, wow, why would men be risk averse? Because girls don't select men who aren't. So it's all about mate selection. And duct tape your friend to the wall. Yeah, the men like to play those stunts on each other because they're male hostile. That's right. The human species looks so much colder standing on this side. It doesn't look colder. It is colder. So this guy is not going to navigate his life very well. I can see how men might convince themselves that their feelings of emotional desperation is personal weakness, as opposed to a symptom they're all experienced from white imperialism. Oh my God. Oh my God, this person is in trouble. This must be the intersectionality. He must have belonged to the LGBT, types. These women aren't rejecting you because you're a capitalist or you're a white person. Men of color go through the same experience. And a lot of these women like to LARP as Marxist, and they're just as hostile to men. This person is out of their mind, and they're in for a terrible future. Oh, by the way, Skaldish, this is why the male suicide rate is so much higher than the female suicide rate, because our lives are comparative shit to theirs. Because this human connection, this frith, I don't know what that means, is as essential for our well-being as water. Okay, it is? Okay, so you are in trouble then. Because if you see this as essential and you think things are going to change for you, you're in trouble. If you want to navigate this, you've got to deal with being out in the cold for the rest of your life. What's that old expression? This is the first day of the rest of your life. And you have to deal with this. Think about someone saying, you're a horse now, son. You can never lay down again. You sleep on your feet. And you either sleep on your feet or you don't sleep and you die. This is what it is to be a man. Now, the mod. All right, peeps, I'm going to open the comments as many of you have requested. Keep in mind to keep the atmosphere positive. Oh, great. Anything other than healthy discussion, we have to close comments again. Okay, so notice when these trans men start pointing out the harsh reality of what their experience is as a man, guess what? I suspect there's a lot of people coming in here and telling you, I told you so. and maybe even saying, yeah, these women are cold to us and they're mean and they're nasty, and these mods, these female worshiping mods, have to close these down. This is what I'm guessing. So I'm recording this so that I suspect this will be closed down eventually. So this is the third time I've pointed out something, trans man who is finding out the hard way just what hell it is to be a man. And it's worth me pointing out again. Thank you, everyone.